today's Inside Scoop. Today is Thursday, May 22nd. Today in the Scoop, we're going to try to give you a quick rundown of the status of key issues as they passed, or didn't pass, this past legislative session. As you know, if you've been reading all our articles, the legislature adjourned Friday, May 16th, about 9:30, something like that. About that. Heidi was actually... PM in the evening. So a quick rundown on a number of the issues that we were following. First, the 5% for elderly waiver, otherwise known as the 5% campaign, was included in the final supplemental budget bill. 5% for nursing homes was not. Moratorium exception process for nursing homes was included. The minimum wage for nursing homes, the increase was included in the final bill, although it's phased in over several years, so it's not as we originally proposed it, but some money was included. And the last thing for nursing homes, critical access nursing homes, there is a criteria that nursing homes must meet, and there was money allocated, $1.5 million for that program. So all in all, the Health and Human Services Supplemental Budget Bill spent $104 million, and of that, a little over $82 million was spent on either waivers or nursing home expense items.
All right, on the policy side of things, there will be new dementia training requirements for housing with service provider. If you are an assisted living establishment that has a special care unit, advertises or otherwise markets your establishment is providing dementia-related care, you will have your supervisors and direct care staff will have 8 hours of training required each year, and 2 hours annually each year thereafter. For non-direct employees or establishments that do not have a special care unit, there will be a 4-hour training requirement and 2 hours training thereafter, every year thereafter. There will also be continuing education requirements for housing managers. You must have 30 hours every 2 years. There's also going to be disaster planning requirements for housing with services establishments. This will require all housing with services to have a disaster plan and to work with your local police or your local units of government to make sure that it works. There was a proposal called the Choice in Housing, Coalition for Choice in Housing. Also, we used to refer to it as size and setting. We did ask for an exceptions process to be a statewide exceptions process. However, there was a large fiscal note attached to that, but they did allow one project to go forward, a project in Golden Valley. So we'll continue to work on that for the next year.
Some other issues that came up during the course of the session that we may or may not have touched on initially. Electronic cigarettes. There was, in fact, an amendment to the law prohibiting e-cigarettes in all Department of Health as well as Department of Human Services licensed facilities. For medical marijuana, there will be a small exception to allow medical marijuana to start being used in the state of Minnesota. We received an amendment within that bill that covers our nursing homes as well as our home care that allows you to put reasonable restrictions on the use within your facilities. Survivability of actions and lawsuits, this was called the zombie bill affectionately. It did not pass. There was a lot of work put into that, addressing potential damages surviving after the death of the individual. Women's Economic Security Act, we will do a deeper dive on the Women's Economic Security Act for the employment law challenges that it will present. But we did get an exemption to the Equal Pay Certificate portion of the bill for our providers. And finally, the background studies bill included provisions allowing the commissioner to more fully automate and expand electronic background studies. This is something that we've been pushing along, trying to get them to speed up background studies and make them more accurate. So there was another step forward taken with that topic. As always, we would like to thank you all for all your grassroots efforts throughout the year. It's with your support and with your efforts that we're able to make each session more successful. Finally, the Legislative Update Book. We know how much everybody loves the Legislative Update Book, and we love writing it. will be prepared by June 26th, and there will be a legislative update webinar on that same day, June 26th, where we will provide more in-depth details and analysis of the things that passed during this legislative session. So that is today's Inside Scoop. Bam!
Bam.
But now you're taller, so
Good
good.
afternoon and welcome to today's news.
Monday was the-
Thursday, May 22nd.
Let it go.
You are. Okay. Oh, just do it again.
For the outtakes. Now how are we?
Let it go. Let it go.
Hello.
Turn away and something
Let it
in the
snow.
door.
So, whenever you want to go.
Take.
Ready, Freddie?
Nice.